Hello, this is Ken Ferrie with this week's edition of Boots in the Field. Wow, what a difference a week makes in getting this bean crop under control. A lot of beans have disappeared, and as we get closer to finishing up the bean crop, we can all breathe a little easier. Weather will work with us a little bit easier to get this corn crop out itself. We're pretty much done with harvesting of our bean plots, and this will go down as a record year as far as if we look at the averages and the bean plots overall. We've never cut a season of plots with this strong of bean yields. We got about a third of the corn plots left, and they're probably not going to be too far behind the beans when we look at it overall as far as the kind of yields that we're bringing in. You guys that still have corn plots out there, don't forget to try to give us at least a 2-day notice so we can get our scale carts and stuff in there. We kind of get stacked up here in the end as they all start to funnel towards the finish, and we stay pretty busy. So a 2-day notice would really be appreciated so we can have somebody in there to get these plots out, especially those adapt-in plots where we got to collect the nitrates and corn stalk samples as well. A lot of questions about starting the anhydrous applications itself. And yesterday the soil temperatures were in 50 to 55 degree range in most of the state. And remember, when we're looking at soil temperatures, you're looking at the high temperature for the day, not the low temperature for the day. And today, with as cool as we were last night, we push it down into the mid to low 50s. And I think this weekend's going to push us on, again, down below the 50-degree mark. So be patient, but get ready. We can start putting this anhydrous on probably mid-end of next week if the weather holds. Otherwise, we're going to have to be patient. If we're starting mid-next week, again, we probably ought to be thinking about putting insert with it to give ourselves a little protection. The most important thing there is make sure it's sealing. Of course, you guys know if it's smoking, you're wasting a lot of nitrogen. In these wet conditions, some of these soils are not going to want to seal very nice. So we shouldn't see any smoking behind that machine. More important, when you walk behind the machine after it passes, you shouldn't smell that ammonia. If you can smell that ammonia coming up out of that soil, there's a tremendous loss taking place there, and that's going to be hard to replace. So that machine should go by. You should go walk behind it. We say after it goes by, within 30 seconds or so, drop down on your knees. Put your nose about 6 inches away from the nitrate. You should not smell ammonia. If you're gagging and can't breathe, that's a big loss, and we're just going to have to wait for the soil to dry out to get a good seal. Now, you guys that are strip tilling, again, remember you're building a seed bed, so we need a good strip. So be patient, wait for that soil to dry so you don't slab out or cut slices in the soil. Remember, as we say, a bad strip is worse than no strip at all within it, so be careful. The guys are staying right behind the combines, getting the soil test pulled. You got to remember to call us as soon as you start your even thinking about harvesting that field, so our crews can come in there right behind the combine and clean it up. They've been doing a good job of getting them cleaned up, and the labs are keeping up. We're turning these samples around in about a 5-day window. And you can go out there, and after harvest, we can get the samples pulled while you're filling in the ruts. We can have the results back to you, and we'll get this spreading under control. I would recommend you fill those ruts in before you send the floater operators out there to spread the fertilizer so they don't tear their machines up and get in trouble as well. But, again, don't forget to call so we can stay right with it itself. Corn yields continue to stay strong. Having a little more down corn issues as we get back to it from beans, but I think that we're going to finish out strong with the corn yields. So with that, everybody stay safe, and let's keep at it and get this crop in the bin. Talk to you next week.